Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Kerah Speaks. Make sure that you like and share this episode. If you're listening on the podcast or watching on YouTube, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, we are talking about friendship. Of course, we're always talking about friendship here on Kerah Speaks because it is such a integral part of our lives, relationships, platonic or romantic. They shape who we are. They are extremely impactful. But friendships, that's a different type of love. And today we're going to talk about friendship love bombing. Friendship love bombing. I got very close and personal experience with this one here. Let me tell y'all, and it's something that I've never experienced before. Is friendship love bombing was a very new experience for me, and it was extremely impactful. We talk about, romantic, love bombing. We all know, and I'm gonna speak because I'm a woman, so I'm gonna speak from the perspective of a woman. All right. If you happen to be a man that is listening to this, this might not be for you, or you may have experienced love bombing from a woman, but right now I'm talking to my sisters, okay? But I have experienced love bombing from a man. We know what that feels like. We know how a man will sit up here and tell you all these sweet nothings. He buy you all these nice things, tell you what he gonna do. Because a lot of time men don't do it up front. They just tell you a bunch of potential. Oh, I want to see you. I want to do this. I wanna, and never do it, right? But a lot of us get caught up in the wanna. We get caught up in what he said he's going to. He want to do all these things, and then we go on a romantic whirlwind and we start imagining all these wonderful things about this man and the potential of what he's going to give us and who he could be, and we fall in love with that potential. Or maybe he does come with the reality. Maybe he does come with the real. He does buy you flowers. He does wine and dine you. He does, tell you all these beautiful things about you. And he shows up as the person that you been looking for your entire life, right? And then he takes his mask off and he shows you exactly who he is once you start holding him accountable to the things that he said he was, or what he introduced you to in the beginning. Because if you're going to introduce me to a vibe, you got to be consistent. You got to sustain it, right? Well, it's the same thing in friendship. Friends can love bomb you too. So why does that happen? Why does that happen in friendship, more specifically with women? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm only going to speak about my personal experience because I told y'all I'm not a therapist. I'm just somebody who went to therapy. And I'm just talking about the clarity that I gained afterwards, right? Because I went through all of this stuff. And I did a lot of journaling, a lot of reflecting, a lot of praying, a lot of just sitting down and thinking about old conversations and my behaviors and my patterns and why I would choose someone who would love bomb me in friendship. So what I have noticed, that when people do this, they see something in you that is endearing. I think they see something in you because they have a void in them, and they want to be, or they see you as a light and they want to be near that light. Now, that light can be a little tricky sometimes because the light in you can either illuminate something in people and inspire them, or it can burn them and they will feel exposed. I think that comes after the love bombing. So I would only tell you how I feel for the love bombing, right? Let me tell you how I feel for it, because it's about, on this channel, on Kerah Speaks, we take accountability. I think I fell for the love bombing is because I felt like I finally had somebody to mirror me. I finally had someone who saw me for the authentic and original, genuine person that I was. Because in friendship love bombing, people will come to you and they will tell you how great you are. They love all the things that you do. They love how you motivate them. They love how confident you are. And they want to be in proximity to that, right? Because because they can't really say that they feel that way about themselves, but to see you exhibit all these things that they want to be, or who they pretend to be, they want to be near that in hopes that some of that will rub off on them. Because who would not want to be in proximity of light? Of course they would. So I think they initially come to you and they tell you how great you are, how cool you are, how beautiful you are. And I'm talking about women friendships now. And they say, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. Let's be friends. That's a red flag to me now. Now, when you come to me and you talk about all the exterior things you see, oh, you have so much confidence, you're so cool, you're so this, that's a red flag to me now, because I need you to see me. I need you to know Kerah. I don't want you to be so intrigued by what you think I am. Do not pedestalize me. I don't want no more friends that put me on a pedestal. And that's what people do when they are friendship love bombing you. They put you on a pedestal and they think that you got it all together. They see your roses, but they don't know your thorns. They don't know what it took you to bloom like this. They don't know how much time it took, how much work it took. All they see is the beautiful flowers that you possess. And then they start to pick your flowers, and they want those flowers for themselves. They sit there and they say, oh my gosh, this is so, I want to be near this person. But see, things start to grow, and it happens very intensely. What I have noticed in friendship love bombing is the friendship starts to happen quickly, and it's intense, and you're having fun, and you have this chemistry, because there is chemistry in female friendship. There is chemistry, not romantic chemistry, but you feel like this person knows you. We're having these conversations, and they see me, and we have all these relatable experiences, but this person is wearing a mask. But you're entering it in your most genuine way. You like, oh, I am building this friendship with somebody who gets me. And you want that and you desire that. It's like, finally, my prayers are being answered. But the whole time, they're pretending. And so as the intensity grows, the friendship grows, at least in your opinion, from your perspective. It seems to grow. And now you want to grow closer with this person. Because again, they started off very fast. They started off love bombing. You're so great. You're so this. They love all the things that you do for them. They love the benefit that they get from being your friend. So honestly, naturally, you want to grow closer. You want to move closer to them in friendship. And then all of a sudden, the mask starts to drop. You start to see cracks along the way, right? But eventually, the mask starts to drop. And you know how the mask drops? When you start to ask for what you need. Once you ask for what you need, or when you set a boundary, that's when the mask completely drops. And they say, nope, this ain't what I want. I can't do this. You're too much. And now you hurt. Do you know how impactful that is to somebody? Do you know how hurtful that is to somebody? Here you are thinking that you are building a genuine connection with somebody, a friend. Because you know how hard it is to build friendships in adulthood? It's hard as hell. So when you finally think you've met somebody who sees you, who understands you, and you internally have tried to understand them and move closer to them, and then all of a sudden they tell you no after love bombing you, is just as hurtful, as impactful, if not more impactful than when a man does it. Because we expect men to do it. We expect men to be deceitful and liars to get what they want, but we don't think that much in female friendship because we give women so much grace. We expect women to show up genuine and with love and with empathy. We expect that from them. And then when they twist it and say, no, I'm not trying to have no friendship like that. But in the beginning, they were moving towards you. It was intense. You were growing together. So you thought. That is impactful. That can cause long-term damage if you don't go to therapy. It can cause long-term damage, and it can affect the way you trust. It can affect the way you love. It can affect the way you see yourself, because you might come out of that situation after giving your heart and pretty much cutting yourself open and pouring your heart out to someone who you really love as a friend. And then when they tell you, no, I cannot meet your needs. Sorry. Even though I said that I could, I pretended that I could. I pretended that I was everything that you needed in a friend. But now you ask me for something that's too much for me. Nope, you trying to make me do something I don't want to do. That's confusing, and it leaves you with more questions than answers. And so you have to kind of leave people where they are. people like that, you have to really understand people like that, because you do try to understand them. Like I said, you left with more questions than answers, and you try to understand, like, why would somebody do something like that? Why would you pretend for so long like that? Because sometimes, people will, women in friendship will love bomb you for sometimes years. A lot of women can play the long game, and women have to heal. The women on the receiving end have to heal from that long term. It's a lot of women that's still dealing with the heartbreak of a friendship after 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Because they haven't dealt with it. That's why therapy is important, or just getting whatever you need to do that you deem to be therapy. You need to do it, and you got to reflect on that. But this is what I want you to understand about people like that. Hopefully, this will give you some encouragement and some validation. It's not about you. It's not about you. A lot of people feel a void, and they want to be near people that make them feel good about themselves. And these type of people who love bomb and friendship, they have been doing this a long time. They've been doing this a long, long, long time, because they are empty inside, and they are looking for somebody to mirror, because it makes them feel seen. People know genuine people. They know genuine people who love bomb, or who just attach themselves to people. I like to say it like this: they like to cut people's brain open, look at it, oh cool, put it back down, and they don't have anything else to offer you, because they don't have anything to offer themselves. And so it's important that you use your discernment, and you get in tune with what you need, because you won't attach yourself with these type of people if you feel the void within yourself. Because I felt validated. There was a void in me that I was looking for genuine sisterhood. I was looking for something where I felt like I could build something that of substance. I like to do everything with intention. I don't want to just build friendships just to say I got a friend. I really want to build a genuine sisterhood. And at the time, I really did. But it wasn't reciprocated in the way that I needed. And so I had to cut it off. So, but going forward, you really have to use discernment, because people like that are missing something inside, and they will attach themselves to you and take what you got, and they will leave, and they won't care nothing about it. They won't have no remorse for what they did. But the problem is, like I said, they've been doing it for a long time. They're going to do it to the next person and the next person and the next person until they heal. But they are leaving a trail of damage along the way. But what you do to others, what you do to yourself. And until they try to fill the void themselves with themselves, they're going to keep trying to pull from every single person that they find intriguing, that they find genuine, who is loving. And they're going to pretend and give the illusion of closeness to everybody that they meet until they find themselves. So don't feel bad about what you gave to somebody who love bombed you, whether it's platonic or romantic, because what they got is more of that where it came from in you. You got plenty more of love to give to anybody else. And when you heal from it, you're going to be 10 times better, that they won't even be able to touch who you are today. Because I went through that. You know what I'm saying? I went through having to heal, because it was a heartbreak. It was painful for me. But the way that I healed, I got scar tissue. But man, I'm so much better for that. I can love so much better. And I'm so grateful to Yahweh that He did not harden my heart to the fact that I don't want to love no other female friendships no more. I'm so grateful that I am not in a place where I am bitter and I just hate female friendships. I don't want to be friends with no more women. I don't feel that way at all. I am open to friendship, especially with Black women, but true sisterhood. And now I go into it with discernment. I go into it with saying, I know the signs now. Like I said, you come to me and it's like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. Let's be friends. No, 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 no. We're going to take things slow. I don't get caught up in the rush of friendship anymore, because I feel the void. Everything that I was looking for in friendship, I found in me. Thanks to Yahweh. He showed me that what you were looking at for in people, like, you got it. You got the love, the admiration. You don't need nobody to validate you. You know who you are. And once I understood that and stood on that, I was okay with that. So yeah, I'm open to new female friendships, and the biggest thing, forgive. Forgive, forgive, forgive. We all dealing with our own battles, we and our own struggles. It's just about awareness. It's about being aware and reflecting on how we show up in the world, and not just that, be willing to change. Because you can be aware all day long, but if you ain't willing to change your behavior, you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over. So that's just my story. I hope you guys got something out of it. Go to kerahspeaks.com to get my new book, Healing Cost Me Everything. Like and share this episode on whatever app you're watching it on, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, whatever it is. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace. Follow this podcast and connect with me at kerahspeaks.com, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Kerah Speaks.